When I was a kid, I remember reading comic books. We used to read them all the time. I haven't read any in a long time, but I was always intrigued by the advertisements in comic books, especially the one that talked about X-ray glasses. Hey everybody, this is Tony Tominick and
Barry Spencer.
And I know you think we're crazy, but this is a minute or two of history, and I actually haven't changed my clothes in the last three episodes. But frankly, I don't care. We've shot them all at the same time, so they're back to back to back. And I'm still in the pantry at the Peter Miller home.
We're going to talk about ads of Yore. You notice I've been into Yore lately?
Yeah, they're Yore ads, Christmases of Yore.
Yeah. Well, and at Christmas time, the shoppers were urged to buy practical gifts and not spend their money on folderols.
Folderols?
Folderols.
I like that word. That's almost as good as some of the poppycock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
And all of those. Yeah, folderols. Yeah. So don't spend your money on those. You got to buy practical gifts. And that would no doubt mean gifts like boxed fancy hose for men. Yeah.
Boxes of fancy hose.
Yeah, for men.
Okay.
But that's not all. Interesting hats for women. I'm not sure what the millinery hint is supposed to be that's mentioned in this particular ad, but take a look at that hat.
Interesting.
I personally, if I looked at that hat, I would say, "Ooh, that's folderol."
She looks like a big mushroom.
Toadstool.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. She's somebody's mother, and I would never call her a toadstool.
But if you want to get a more practical gift for somebody, that no doubt would be a bottle of these brain salts.
Wow. Now I can think of a lot of people, Sherry, who need brain salt.
Brain salts. Well, brain salts were created to deal with brain troubles, nervous debility, and over brain work. Sure what over brain work is?
No. I so rarely use my brain. It's like, I don't need that stuff.
No. Well, if you ever do overwork your brain, just grab a bottle of this necessity, this non-folderol sort of product.
Well, and it's, yeah, I always want to read the ads and ask what was in it. And all the time, sometimes it's like chloroform or lye or
ether?
Well, yeah, sounds good. Or ether. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, anyway, take a look at this ad and it will explain to you that there is a lot of difference between buying for a man versus buying for a woman. Now, she likes pretty while he likes practical.
Well, I not that I am, I don't know if I can even say this, but not much has changed.
Yeah,
you ever buy your spouse, like for me, I was thinking about buying her a new vacuum for our floors because we have now wooden floors. And I said, well, probably if I bought that for her for Christmas, she would probably do something very bad with it. Like hit me in the head.
Well,
but that's practical.
Buy her a wine cooler because she'll appreciate that. I know I appreciate mine. So anyway, let's talk about practical gifts for men, shall we?
Okay.
So let's take a look at some of these ads and take a look at this. It's a new kind of hat, I guess, and it grows hair in just 30 days or your money back.
We need that today. We need that.
You think that's practical, useful gift?
I wonder if he sat without laughing in his in his study with a pipe, reading a book with that thing on his head, hoping that, in 30 days, hey, I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to have this, right?
Get him a chia pet.
No, yeah, he is a chia pet.
He's hoping he's a chia pet. Well, but you know what? Once he gets all that thick, lustrous hair from his special hat, he's going to need a product to control it once he's got it. How about Brill Cream? You remember the Brill Cream ads?
Oh.
Your hair. And I have this vision of some woman running her fingers through all this grease and then pulling her hands up going, oh no.
Well, but that was the style, your hair was always shiny and kept back tight. And, that was back in the 20s, when we do our Theater of the Dead in September or October this year, I'm greasing up.
Well, you know what? Make sure you've got a tube of Brill Cream stashed away somewhere. And remember, a little dab will do you, okay?
I wonder if I can still buy it. I wonder if you can still buy Brill Cream.
I don't know. Maybe Amazon has Brill Cream. Who knows?
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about some more practical gifts for men. And let's take another look at footwear, shall we? Because that's so much fun. There's this. Footwear, this is a must because you've got to keep those seams out of the hosiery.
I can't tell you how many times in my life I've had to look at the back of my leg to make sure the seam in my hosiery is straight.
I don't want you to tell me how many times. Let's just forget about that. You know what? Let's talk about something that a man would like that's guaranteed fun. It's called the ventriloquist.
I got a couple things. I got a couple things.
But do you have the ventriloquist double throat?
No. But I did get the Xray glasses.
Oh, did you? Did they work?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could see through women's clothes. I remember that ad in my comic books.
Yeah, but I always wondered if that worked.
Yeah, I'm guessing it probably didn't.
Oh, okay. So, because look at all the things that it could do. It fit into the roof of your mouth, and it was always invisible. And you could mystify your friends with it, according to the ad anyway. And you could do all kinds of things, make neat sounds. You could neigh like a horse, whine like a puppy, sing like a canary, and imitate birds and beasts of the field and forests. Loads of fun.
But I don't understand. If you're a ventriloquist, I need to get one of these things. I want to test it out.
Well, I was assuming that if you were not a very good ventriloquist and you needed help, you could get one of these products.
So really, if I'm reading this right, and by the way, I love the guy's smile. He must have been part of the dental family. But now I know why he could sound like a horse, is because he looks like a horse. So they put it in the mouth and it makes animal noises. So it's a noisemaker rather than a ventriloquist double throat.
Well, okay, if you want to split hairs. But wait, that's not all. We had Prince Albert in a can. Remember the fun kids had with Prince Albert?
Well.
Can. You call up a random phone number and you ask them if they have Prince Albert in a can. And if they say yes, then you go, oh, you'd better let him out, and you hang up real quick. Because there was so much fun.
I remember all kinds of little things about Prince Albert in a can. Yes.
Well,
yes.
we'll just leave it at that one, okay?
Yes, let's just let that one sit.
We'll just let that go. And then if you wanted to be, this one kind of gets me, sealed tight and kept right, then that called for Wrigleys Gum. Interesting slogan, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they had to have something that rhymed with sealed tight, and they put that little aluminum foil thing around the gum. Maybe that's why that started. maybe Wrigley invented that process. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? There probably was not anything much more fun than your one-stop shopping at Pickering's on Detroit Road at Stop 56 in Detroit Road. And all under one roof. You could get your groceries, candies, your footwear, maybe even some seamless hose, I don't know, tobacco, cigarettes, barrels, kegs, baskets, gas, and oil.
You know, you know what's really amazing about that little ad? And you can all look at it while we're doing this, but it says Stop 56 and Detroit Road.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know because we're empirically intelligent that Stop 56 was a stop on the Lakeshore Electric Railway, and it didn't go down Detroit Road. It went down Electric Boulevard. So really what they're saying is on 83 or 56, Stop 56 here, you can go south, and when you hit the Detroit Road, you're going to find Pickering's, which, by the way, is still there, but in a different location.
But I don't think you can get men's hosiery there.
I don't know. We used to be able to get handkerchiefs in my dad's bar.
Oh. Well, there's a nice little factoid for you.
Well, they had a card, and you could have a hanky. It's called Have a Hanky.
Oh, I remember that. Have a hanky. That slogan I remember.
Yes.
Okay, but let's get back to the home now, because there's nothing more important than keeping your home nice and cozy. So you could just go to Slater's Full of Heat Coal that made a house out of a home. No,
well,
made a home out of a house.
It does, it does keep you warm, right? I mean, Grandma's house had a coal chute in it and a room where it was stored. So that's how, can you imagine when you had to store, stock or what is it called? Stoke the furnace with coal?
Yeah. Yep.
If you were a lady and you had children and your husband was doing whatever he was out and you had to go shovel coal.
Well, and you know what? If Slater's wasn't doing it for you, you had coal options, coal alternatives, if you will. You could go to Merbox, another ad, and it was not just clean and hot, but lumpy too. So if your coal's not lumpy enough to suit you, you can get some Merbox.
I absolutely hate when my coal's flat.
And okay. But you got to keep that heavenly home clean. And I know you were preaching against buying your spouse a vacuum cleaner because it doesn't go over so well. But take a look at this vacuum cleaner for your heavenly home. It had a vacuum sweeper brush in it that works like human fingers. Is that creepy or what?
Yeah, that is pretty creepy. But we had one just like that in our house. We did. Yeah. I mean, even look, it might have been the same brand.
Did it have something like human fingers in it?
No. Well, I don't know. I never took it apart. I just know that it looked like this ad. And it made a heck of a racket.
But that's not all. If you wanted to make your home even cozier, I mean, we've got the coal, 2 options. We've got the human fingers vacuum cleaner. But are you ready for this? We've got another special heating implement, Cozy Blow.
Okay. And it was only $7.49.
I think we're done.
My son used to work for Westinghouse. No, he worked for GE, but it's not the same. But anyway, I bet he never knew they had those.
Probably not.
Okay, can we just can we just move on? because
Yeah, well,
I want to keep it PG.
hold on. That's it. It's time to wrap up, and I don't know what to say anymore.
Let's finish up with Cozy Blow.
Can we just throw up a picture of the ad for Cozy Blow and say goodbye?
Yes, yes. And then we're gonna.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, that was an interesting little 15 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. But if you get
number 30.
yes, yes. If you get a chance and you are so inclined, when you look at vintage newspapers and ads and stuff, and I sometimes share them on the Avon Lake Historical Society Facebook page, but they're amazing because they tell history, especially ones from our community in Avon Lake where we had businesses and they did Stop 56 or Stop 65. And well, Sherry, as always, you have done an incredible job of doing some research. And I think this last one is going to be hard to beat.
Okay.
But I'm glad you took the time to research it. And for now, this is Tony Dominic and
Sherry Spencer.
And we'll see you on the next episode of A Minute or Two of
coming from the
Peace
park.
out.
Mama opened up a map. We never had a clue about where we were going.